it's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another mukbang. Today's mukbang slash eating show is going to be kimchi stew. I have been craving kimchi stew for the last few weeks, so today we're going to be making some kimchi stew, aka kimchi jjigae. And kimchi jjigae is a very popular Korean dish using the main ingredient, which is kimchi, which is fermented spicy cabbage. If you guys want to see a recipe on how to make a vegan kimchi, I'll link that video down below. It is authentic, it is delicious. It's my mom's recipe from many years of kimchi making, so it is bomb.com. And also, if you want to see an actual recipe video on how to make kimchi jjigae, which is kimchi stew, which is what we're making today, I'll link that video down below as well. I do have a video on that, but I will be making it with you guys today as well. And every time you make kimchi stew, I feel like it's slightly different, so I don't know, I'm just gonna like wing it and see what happens. Okay, you know, my favorite way to film videos. If you guys like mukbang or eating show videos, I do have an entire playlist with my mukbang videos, so I'll link that down below as well. Now let's start cooking. Homegirl has been craving this for a very long time. Now this pot thing, it's a little like rusty. So I've got a bunch of ingredients beside me and I'm gonna start off by adding a little oil onto the pan. Okay, this is just olive oil, I believe. So we're starting off with oil and then we are going to fry up some onion. This is just half an onion. Ooh, that sizzle. We're also gonna add some garlic. I have some minced garlic already here. I'm not doing any measurements really today, guys. So, I mean, this is how Korean people cook. We don't measure usually. That sizzle. So, now we're gonna add in some mushrooms. I've got some oyster mushrooms here. And I also have regular white mushrooms and cremini mushrooms, I think are the name. So I do like to brown the mushrooms. So I'm gonna add them now. We're gonna let the mushrooms kind of sit and get slightly browned because it makes it taste even better, guys. I swear it like releases the flavor more so once you brown them. I'm super excited. So yeah, there's really no rule when it comes to kimchi jjigae. It's like, just add whatever you want. Obviously you need kimchi, which is pretty important. Kimchi jjigae is something that you can make, especially once your kimchi has gone sour. So kimchi, if you guys didn't know, is fermented cabbage. So it ferments, clearly. You leave it in the fridge and it will ferment over time. It will become more and more sour as the time goes. So there's like a time when it's like at its peak, when it's like super fresh and delicious. And then after that, it's gonna start becoming more and more sour. So once it starts getting really sour, don't think that it's gone bad. It's still just a fermented food. You don't need to throw it away, guys. Do not throw away sour kimchi. That's just adding a little water there. So don't throw away sour kimchi. It's perfectly fine. With sour kimchi, what you can do is make kimchi jjigae or kimchi fried rice, stir-fried kimchi. So don't throw away your delicious kimchi because that would be a tragedy. So now we've got the mushrooms kind of getting sweaty, you know what I'm saying? Now, what we want to do is add in our kimchi. So I have a huge thing of kimchi here. This is probably like, I don't know, 2 cups. So if you don't know, kimchi is a super traditional Korean dish. It's basically the first thing people think of when they think of Korean food. And it's something that every Korean probably has in their fridge. It's already smelling so good. We're going to stir fry it for a little bit. And I'm also going to add something really random. These are cut up vegan steak pieces. If you guys saw my vegan steak video, then you know what I'm talking about. Basically, I tried to make vegan steak. It didn't turn out the way that I would have liked to, but I don't like to waste it, so I'm going to cut it up and I put it into here as a replacement for meat. Obviously, you don't need to do that. You can also add in like vegan hot dogs or something, like little pieces, or smoked tofu would be a great thing, but we're not done yet, guys, so here we go. Whew. I'm gonna add a little bit of gochujang. Gochujang is a Korean spicy pepper paste, red pepper paste. It's used in pretty much everything that is Korean related. You don't have to add this, but it'll give it some more kick and a nice flavor. So we're just gonna add that in, kind of let it melt in there. Add a little bit of water to melt out that gochujang. If you haven't tried kimchi stew, Guys, you definitely should. It's now nicely stir-fried. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a little bit of water and a tiny bit of kelp powder. Korean people like to flavor our broth with kelp or anchovies or both. Now obviously we're not using anchovies, so we're just gonna flavor with some kelp, and I'm just gonna mix it a bit first with a tiny bit of water to make sure that we're not having any clumps of kelp. Throw that in there. You could just directly throw it in there and then just make sure you mix it really well. And then we can just pour some water. So I don't want to add too much water just yet. Let's just see what happens here. I'm so excited. I'm going to turn it up all the way up. And add a little bit more. Let's just give it a try right now. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. This is coconut sugar. You can add brown sugar, regular sugar, whatever you want. I'm just going to add a little bit. I am going to add a tiny bit of soy sauce. Give it a little taste. Mmm. Oh, so good. A little bit of water. Oh my gosh, it's so good, guys. I'm so excited for this. I am going to now add very important ingredient. Tofu. This is medium firm tofu. You can also add soft tofu. I recommend soft or medium firm. Let's let that all soak in. All those flavors. And we're gonna top with green onions. Oh my gosh, guys. Doesn't that look amazing? Woo! Look at that! Woo! Guys, this is it! This is kimchi jjigae. Let me try it. Again, you can always season it to your liking. Give it a little taste as you go. Oh, it's so good. I don't want it too salty, so it's actually right now it's perfect. I'm just gonna let it boil for a little bit to let the kimchi soften even more. Let me just try the kimchi actually. Where's the kimchi? Alright guys, so I'm gonna let this boil a little bit, let it cook just a bit, just to make sure, where's my lid? Just to make sure it is nicely, perfectly cooked. And I'm gonna grab some rice and we can start eating. Alright you guys, let's get this open. Let's get the boiling going again. Whew! So I have here a bowl of rice, and I also have something super random. This is basically these tofu patties that I made by accident, kind of. Because I tried to make this thing with silken tofu mixed with scrambled tofu seasoning, and I don't know, it just kind of crumbled and fell apart. So instead of throwing it away, I decided to just add a bit of flour, a bit of breadcrumbs, and then I just made it into patties, and I'm just gonna eat it. So it's kind of like a little eggy patty, but I don't know, it's super random, but I just kind of wanted something else with this. So here is the kimchi jjigae. Like I said, very traditional Korean dish, and this is completely veganized dish. Make this at home, share it with your friends, family, everything. I'm just gonna dig in. Let's try this broth. Oh, it's so good. Whew! Tofu, brown rice. I always see like mukbang people eating with like giant spoons. Oh, this spoon, guys, I got it from this little village in Tanzania. Oh my god. You absolutely have to try this. It's not too spicy. It's perfect. Oh my gosh. So I kind of want to chat with you guys regarding my trip to Africa. As you guys know, I went to Africa. Well, actually, maybe you don't know. I went to a little Serengeti trip. A little Serengeti trip. You know, no big deal. Oh my God, I want to talk to you guys about it, but this is so good. I'm gonna try the vegan steak thing. It's too doughy. I don't really like the steak pieces, but everything else is delicious. Mmm. Mmm. Oyster mushroom. I love. Mmm. This is a patty. I put ketchup on top. Mmm. Mmm. We're gonna get the sizzling going again. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the trip because it was seriously one of the most interesting, best trips I've been to. I was going to talk about like the bad things that happen on the trip because here's the thing about when like bad things happen. Okay, when I say bad things, I don't mean like tragedies. I just mean like, you know, annoying things that happen when you're traveling because so many things like that happen when you're traveling. And I feel like that's what makes a trip interesting, you know? When you travel and only good things happen, what are you gonna tell your friends about? You basically have to have bad things happening to you in order for your life to be interesting, I feel like. Drama is interesting, you know? To some extent, obviously. So if you're caught in a shitty situation, like maybe you got your laptop stolen, or you lost your passport or something, just remember, it'll blow over, and you'll be fine. Worst things have happened. Oh my. This is too good to be true. I wanted to talk to you about my Afro trip, and I might save like the bad stuff, like the bad things that happen when you're traveling. That I can save for another video, I think. Today, I'll just tell you about it. I already have a couple videos, vlogs up on my vlog channel if you guys want to check that out from the trip. But basically, I went to Kenya and Tanzania. But mainly, I was pretty much in Kenya. I was pretty much in Tanzania. I was barely in Kenya. So it was pretty much a trip to Tanzania. And oh my god, it's so hot. It was a trip to Tanzania, and the main point of the trip was to go to the Serengeti, which is, I think, the second biggest safari in Africa, and it's somewhere I've wanted to go to for a very, very long time. I don't know when was the first time I came across the Serengeti or information about the Serengeti, but I remember as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to go there ASAP. So, I've been wanting to go for a very long time, and every time I see pictures of people that went to some sort of African safari, I would get so jealous. So I actually wanted to go in like 2016 when I was about to leave London, because I was going to do some traveling before coming back to Canada. I was actually looking into doing a safari trip, but it was so expensive to me at the time, so I didn't do it. Guys, this is like, oh, so good. This time around though, I had some more money, you know? I spent a lot of money though. It is an expensive trip, if you guys are wondering. I'm sure you could do it for a bit cheaper, but just flying there alone, all my flights included, probably cost almost 2,000 Canadian, and then the tour was about 3,000 Canadian for 11 days, and then of course other things on top of that. I probably ended up spending about 6,000 to 7,000 Canadian dollars for a 2-week trip. Was it worth it? To me, yes. It's the most unique trip I've ever been on, and as someone that's traveled quite a bit, it starts to get kind of old, you know, when you start seeing cities get kind of boring because they're all kind of the same most of the time. But a place like the Serengeti is like once in a lifetime, and there's so many animals, you guys. It's such a large piece of land, and there's just so many animals. It's one of the best places to see wild animals just in their normal habitat. It really felt like I was in like Planet Earth or like National Geographic. Anyway, whew, that's hot. So yeah, the Serengeti, we actually camped in the middle of the Serengeti, you guys. We camped in tents. First week of the trip or so, we were camping for about 5 or 6 days. We camped at multiple different campsites, and we spent 2 nights in the Serengeti, camping inside the Serengeti, which was crazy. See if I can fit all this in my mouth. So good. So yeah, we camped in the middle of the Serengeti. We got there and there's all these tents and there's no fences, guys. No fences. I was like, are we just camping like with lions? Is that what's happening? But you know, so I thought it'd be like super dangerous, but apparently the animals, they just leave you alone. As long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. I mean, it was a bit cray-cray though. For example, we would have like buffaloes right outside our campsite, like literally just right outside, just eating food. We also had giraffes just walking around. It was so nice. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. On the first night, one of the guys in our tour group, he apparently needed to go to the bathroom, so he like opened his tent and then saw a hyena. So then he just closed his tent and went back to sleep. It's still salty enough, I think. Woo! So yeah, I could hear like random sounds in the middle of the night. I was like, oh my gosh. It was a bit scary, but it was kind of like an exciting thrill. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna add a bit of sesame oil. Just a drop. No need, but making things a bit interesting. Ooh. Oh, I kind of regret adding that sesame oil. Completely changed the flavor profile a little bit. Okay, don't add sesame oil. Maybe in the beginning, but not later on. It kind of got rid of a lot of that tanginess, but it's still good. But for some reason, it just doesn't go today. Oh my god, this is so good. Oh, and this one time, so after we were done at the Serengeti, we spent one night near the Ngorongoro, I hope I'm saying this right, Ngorongoro crater. Ngorongoro. Sorry if anyone speaks Swahili. So there's this like really famous crater near the Serengeti. I think it's like a couple hours drive, and there's tons of animals, you guys. We saw so many animals, like so many zebras and elephants and hippos and all this kind of crazy stuff. We camped nearby there in a campsite called Simba campsite. Also, random side note, Simba is a lion in Swahili. Did you guys know that? I learned that during my trip. Simba is lion. And Pumbaa is a warthog. So Disney is very creative with the names of their characters. Whew. I'm gonna have to tie my hair, guys. It's so hot. Whew. Alright, hair is tied up. I don't even know why I try to keep my hair down because it gets so hot when I film mukbangs, especially when I'm making something like this. Anyways, what was I saying? Whew. Oh yeah, so we were staying at this campsite called Simba campsite, and as soon as we got there was like an elephant. He was literally right beside our bathroom and where we're supposed to take a shower, and he was just like having a meal. And he was just like walking around the campsite, just chilling. And then another one came. It was kind of scary, but at the same time it was cool. Like, elephants are pretty safe, I believe. As long as you leave them alone, you know? Elephants are such beautiful creatures. It was just such an amazing experience to see these animals like in the wild, where they belong, in their own habitat. And what I really liked about the Serengeti was I felt like it was very well respected. Like, animals were very well respected. They were left to do their own thing, and we were just kind of like the visitors, you know? We stayed in our car, of course, and observed from inside the car. We didn't get too close to the animals if it was like bothersome for them. So I really like that, because that's the one thing I was worried about. I was like, are they going to be really disrespectful to the animals? Is it going to be like a tourist type of environment? But it really did not feel like that at all. It was very, very well preserved, and I don't know, it just felt really good. If you guys want to see my safari photos, check out my personal Instagram. This is so good. I feel like I can finish this. And if you're wondering, the tour group that I went with is called G Adventures. The reason why I picked them is A, the tour was like affordable. Like $3,000 I thought was like quite cheap compared to other tour groups I've seen. B, G Adventures kind of like caters towards slightly younger demographic, and like you can pick tours based on like your age group or what kind of tour you want. And C, what was C? Oh, they're very well known around the world, so they do tours all around the world, so they're kind of like reputable in that sense. I wanted to go with a company that kind of has like that worldwide presence, because again, I've never been to the entirety of Africa before, so I didn't know what to expect, you know what I'm saying? It's like unknown territory for me. But yeah, it was a really good tour. I do recommend them. You do have to kind of rough it out though, because you're like camping, so by the end of the trip I was like stinky. Oh. This is so good. You know what would be really good in this? Enoki mushrooms. Oh my gosh. The mushrooms are so delicious. So good. Oh, and so the tour wasn't just for Serengeti. We went to Serengeti, we went to the crater, and then we also went to Zanzibar, which is an island. And it is so beautiful, you guys. I need to get some more rice. Hold on. I got a little bit more rice because I am not finished with this yet. Oh my gosh. So we went to Zanzibar, and it was honestly one of the most beautiful islands ever. The beach, like the water and the sand, white sand beach, blue AF water. So beautiful. We did a little snorkeling. We did this like sunset cruise where we were just like on this boat with like a live band. They were playing like local music and we were drinking beers on the boat. It was great. I mean, the boat did look like it may collapse. And there may have been no life jackets, but you know, YOLO. I made it out alive. I did break my phone. I did get sunstroke. If you want to know like the bad things that happen, like some of the bad things that have happened to me while traveling, let me know, because I think that would be a fun story. Fun story time mukbang. So Zanzibar was like absolutely beautiful. Such a nice place. It's hard to believe places like that exist, you know? I'm looking for more mushrooms. What else was I gonna say? Oh, you guys are probably wondering about the food. They were very accommodating. I made sure I told them before, because I was going on this tour, right, where a lot of meals are included. So I made sure to reiterate a few times that I was vegan. I don't eat any animal products. I always make sure to like spell it out. I'm like, I'm vegan. This means I don't eat this. Because, you know, I feel like sometimes they don't know, you know what I mean? So I told them, yeah. So basically we had cooks that were with us. So we had like the tour guide, we had some drivers, and then we had the kitchen staff. So they made us food while we were camping, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and they were very accommodating. They made, you know, vegan food for me or things that were vegan friendly. There were a couple other vegetarians in the group. I was the only vegan. So it was good. But what I would recommend is always bring things like protein bars, mixed nuts, things like that. Especially when you have non-vegan people feeding you vegan food. A lot of times they may not have the resources or they just don't know how to make it like a filling, you know, protein-filled meal. For me, like I need like some kind of protein to fill me up. You know, I need like tofu or beans or something. So most of the meals didn't have that. If we were having like rice with like curry, the non-vegans would have like a side of chicken or something, and then I would just have the rice with curry, which is just vegetable curry, which was great and it was fine, but you know, that means I got hungry much faster. So my protein bars that I packed like a million of, that actually helped a lot. So if you go on any trip, I would just bring, you know, extra snacks. Like protein bars are great because of the fact that they are high in calories and they're kind of dense so that you'll be full for a long period of time, especially when you're in a car for many, many hours. And I wasn't even the only one, like, you know, it wasn't just a concern for me. Even other people, there was a lot of time between our meals. So it'd be like 5-6 hours between meals. So most of us, we had snacks. So it wasn't just like a vegan thing. It was just like, overall, people would just get hungry. Maybe we just eat too much. Maybe people in Tanzania just eat less or something, you know? We did this tour one time right before the Serengeti. We did this tour in this village called Mosquito Village. I don't know why it's called that because there wasn't really any mosquitoes. Weird. It was a really cute village. I do have a vlog on my vlog channel of our visit to the village, but the lunch we had there was pretty much all vegan other than one dish. And that was just by default because I feel like the way that they eat, if I wasn't with the tour group, the way that the people in, I don't know, Tanzania eat, I think they eat a lot of like vegan friendly foods. At least from my experience in that one village, I know it's just one village. I don't really know how everyone else eats, but because they do a lot of their own farming and cows are considered like property there, like as in like they're considered very like expensive property. So I doubt that they eat any beef unless it's like really old because it's considered such expensive property, which is interesting because that's how it was in Korea, I think many years ago. Anyway, yeah, when we ate at that village, they made us a really nice lunch, and it was probably the best meal that we had actually. And it was all vegan other than one dish that had chicken. So other than that, everything was vegan, and it was so good. And they use a lot of beans, so they grow like soybeans. They also had like millet and just all kinds of just really healthy plant-based food. The way that they season everything was great. They got a lot of their spices from Zanzibar. Zanzibar is really well known for having a wide array of spices. So yeah, it was really, really cool. I think I'm full, guys. Finally. Guys, you need to try this. And another little tip for you, little insider Korean information. Once you have like your jjigae is stew, by the way. Once you have your stew kind of like reduced like this, and there isn't really too much like liquid, like it's not really stew anymore, it's just kind of like some bits and pieces and like very little liquid, you can actually add in like a scoop of rice, mix that well, maybe add a little bit of soy sauce or something, and make it into like a fried rice. People do this all the time. When you have this kind of like leftover stew situation, add in some rice, add in some maybe even sesame oil, some soy sauce, mix it well, and it is going to taste like heaven, my friends. So don't you dare throw it away. Eat every single scrap. I've always been taught since I was young to eat every single little thing on the plate. Do not let it go to waste. All right, guys, that was my kimchi stew mukbang. I really hope you guys enjoyed eating with me, because I definitely enjoyed eating this on camera. It was so delicious. I am very full now, but also very content and satisfied. What a good feeling. What an interesting mukbang, guys. I thought it was interesting that I was making a very traditional Korean dish while I was talking about my trip to Africa, while sitting here in my home in Canada, broadcasting this to this entire world. Isn't that interesting? If you guys made it this far, guys, write down in the comment section, ain't that interesting? I think it'd be funny. It might confuse some people, but it's my way of knowing how many of you guys made it this far in the video. I know it was a very long video, so if you guys stuck around until now, thank you so much for watching. It's so sweet of you to listen to me ramble and eat and make eating noises, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, of course, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up in this video. And of course, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!